9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for another edition of Timeless Elite Wednesday with your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me on this edition of AEW Dynamite, because we're coming to you from Austin, Texas, because even though we have a far, far road ahead to Revolution, we have an interesting road into Grand Slam Australia, which is pretty much in a couple weeks on Valentine's Day weekend. So get ready to spend 2 impactful hours with me. We have so much happening right now. Obviously, we gave you the rundown if you watched WWT on the preview card for AEW Dynamite. AEW champion MJF will be in the building, and he's got 7 guys that are gunning for him pretty much. So I don't know what's he going to do, but who knows? And don't underestimate MJF with his tricks up his sleeves. We're also going to have Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega made it a point for the AEW World title. He'll be facing off against Rocky Romero. Swerve Strickland will be facing off against Andrade. We will have the AEW World Tag Team titles, FTR, taking on the Don Callis families, Mark Davis and Jack Doyle. And speaking of Kenny Omega, we're just not wasting any time because we're seeing Kenny Omega take on Rocky Romero to kick off Dynamite. And as I mentioned, Kenny Omega is trying to make a case for himself. He wants to be AEW World Champion, but he has to go through many hurdles to get where he is. And he has a big mountain to climb when going up against the Don Callis family, because he went up against Josh Alexander last week. This week, he's going up against another member of the Don Callis family, Rocky Romero. So that's that. As I mentioned, we have the AEW Tag Team titles. We also have the AEW Continental Championship title eliminator match. Jon Moxley taking on Ace Austin. And we're also going to have the AEW Women's Championship match. Kris Statlander taking on Thekla. I would love nothing more for the ladies to main event. That because I was looking at this card, and it just makes sense for the ladies to main event, because nothing against the tag team titles, nothing against Swerve, but I just think make it make sense. And I have a feeling that match may not end clean. I would not be shocked if that match ended in no contest. But here we go. We have Kenny Omega taking on Rocky Romero. And of course, I think we have that creep Don Callis on the oh man. Kenny Omega just threw Rocky Romero like trash. You can't deny Kenny Omega's athleticism. He's very, even with some of the injuries he's sustained, he's very athletic. I can tell you, all the fans do love I can tell you, all the fans do love Kenny. But as Bosa mentioned, Excalibur talked about that Samoa Joe suffered an injury in training, but he's not cleared. And we do wish Samoa Joe a speedy recovery. It'll be very interesting how the ops play out, because you have Hook and you have Shibata. Could this be an opportunity for Hook to shine? Because, well, Powerhouse Hobbs let his contract from AEW expired. Supposedly, he's heading into WWE. When? I don't know. Maybe at the Rumble? It's just a maybe. But going back to this match, Kenny Omega taking on Rocky Romero. Rocky's trying to hold the referee hostage, but that didn't work. Supposedly. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys have winning this match. Do you have Kenny Omega or do you have Rocky Romero winning this? And I kind of have a feeling for this. I would not be shocked if Swerve and Andrade was next. I would not be shocked. Oh, really? So the main event is Swerve Strickland with Nana. Well, it kind of makes sense a bit, which is kind of crazy. And actually, I'm not mad at Swerve because this is the rarity that he main events Dynamite in back-to-back weeks. So, I got nothing against Swerve. It's just, it just would have been nice for the ladies to main event. But I'm not mad at Swerve main eventing. It's just Don Callis should not get the main event. And also, I give Prince Nana permission. He needs to sucker punch Don Callis into oblivion. What's Rocky Romero doing? I think he's trying to be a little bit charisma, but that was a nasty kick in the back of the head by Kenny Omega. Oh, man. Kenny wants to end this quick. Well, Rocky Romero, we hardly knew you. Oh, man, that has to be it. And your winner of this match is Kenny Omega. And yes, Boza, Revolution will mark 4 years since Swerve has been signed with AEW. So definitely a good acquisition that AEW got in Swerve Strickland. But your winner of the match is Kenny Omega. As I mentioned, he is making a case for himself because he wants the AEW World Heavyweight title. It's going to be very interesting how it's going to play out in Grand Slam Australia. And we did see him compete last year, teaming up with Will Ospreay. Oh, and we're going to hear from Tony Schiavone. And look at Tony with his yellow sneakers and tie. Look at him. Especially with the injuries he sustained, I'm just very astonished. So pretty much the winner of Swerve and Andrade will face off against Kenny next week in Las Vegas. And also we do pretty much have a match at Australia. Oh boy. And speaking of former champions, here comes his former tag team partner, Hangman Adam Page. And he's also 1/3 of the trios champions, by the way. Let's see what Mr. Cowboy has to say. But it's business. Not surprised. Oh, and speaking of Swerve Strickland, you say his name and he will appear. Swerve Strickland. Well, that is true. He has not been pinned. And it's crazy. They never had a one-on-one match, him and Kenny. That's really crazy. I feel like he's always wanted to fight Kenny Omega. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I got to deal with that creep. Ugh. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Is he chewing gum? He almost swallowed his gum. The Don Callis family runs AEW Dynamite. Okay. Huh? Ah! Get him, Kenny! Run, Kenny, run! I'd be so happy if he beats the crap out of him. Doc Callis can run, but he can't hide. See, that's what he gets for his big fat mouth. But the main event will be Andrade taking on Swerve Strickland in the main event tonight. It's going to be very interesting. Doc Callis in one corner, Nana in one corner. And then we do have a few matches because they're going through like the whole card for tonight's show. So it's going to be very interesting coming to you from Texas. And it looks like whoever wins faces off against Kenny Omega next week in Las Vegas. But they're going through the card for tonight's Dynamite, as we mentioned in the preview. If you did watch WWT Live today, oh, yeah, and they're showing the preview of Kris Statlander and Thekla. Why do I feel like that match is going to end in a no contest? And I need Kris Statlander to come out of her. Well, not come out, but oh, so it looks like the Babes of Wrath are putting a challenge out to the Sisters of Sin for Collision. Ooh, that should be really interesting. And plus, they need a rivalry anyway. So that's going to be a fun match. But yeah, we're going to kick it off with Mr. Jon Moxley taking on Ace Austin in a Continental Championship Eliminator match. Rules are simple. Everyone's banned from ringside for the Continental rules. 20-minute time limit. So here comes John. Oh, Boza. Okay, so if they don't stick their nose in the women's title match, they will defend it. I mean, that's fair. And plus, it'll give a nice storyline for the Babes of Wrath. I just need Kris Statlander to just stand 2 talls on her feet. But here comes Jon Moxley. I mean, if you watched Collision over the weekend, he's been on the commentary desk for the last couple weeks. We've seen him. And I still can't get over when Marina Shafir was in match and Jon Moxley was just like clapping. He was like, yes! And he was just like a proud dad and everything on Marina Shafir when she was wrestling on Collision. And I was just cracking up on some of his commentary. And we did see him do commentary during Claudio and Roderick for the CMLL World Heavyweight title. And we do see Miss Renee giving the play-by-play of tonight's Continental Classic title Eliminator match. Well, here comes John running around. I'm pretty sure after the match, we'll probably see the Death Riders come in. But Claudio Castagnoli successfully retained his title against Roderick Strong, and he will be defending the title again this Friday. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Thanks for that, Boza. And yeah, Ace Austin, like if you have not been watching Ring of Honor, he's been on a hot winning streak, you know, teaming up with the Bang Bang Gang. I mean, of course, we know Juice Robinson is hurt yet again, which makes me sad. And that's why Austin teamed up with his dad, Billy Gunn, in tag team action over the weekend against Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, because I know Ace did had some travel issues from over the weekend because of snowstorm. Also, if you live in the East Coast, there will be a snowstorm happening this weekend. So we're going to get a lot of snow happening this weekend. So I know what I'll be doing this weekend. I mean, I'll be watching the Rumble this weekend and Collision. So here we go. We have a Continental Championship title eliminator match. Ace Austin taking on Jon Moxley. I'm very curious on who's going to be the guy to take it away from him. So as it goes, Continental Classic rules. Everyone's banned from ringside. 20-minute time limit. Oh, both of that makes sense too, because sometimes they have been scrambling at the last minute, and it's really hard to make that flight where the flight's out there and gotta learn how to pivot. But I'm happy Ace Austin is making his mark. He's making his mark on Ring of Honor. He's making his mark on AEW lately. Obviously, his first match was against Ricochet, which was huge. Even though he didn't win, he did provide a nice showing and will help out within the division as well, because we do have a few mid-card titles in AEW, and I think the mid-card division is going to really help. And it kind of reminds me, like, from back in the Attitude Era, like, of course, you had the main top players going for the then WWF title, but back then, they put a lot of effort in the mid-card titles, where everybody was going for it, from the Intercontinental to European title, to when it was the light heavyweight title. So I love that they are trying to put a little bit more of an instinct onto mid-card titles, because there is many contenders for plenty of the mid-card titles they have. But going back to this match, it's like Jon Moxley's trying to put his punches in. Ace Austin trying to punch back. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys have. Do you have Jon Moxley or do you have Ace Austin? Ooh, nice move by him. Nice. That was really impressive. He did to Jon. I will say Ace Austin is nothing to be messed around with. He's not. Ooh, that's some nice athleticism. Kick to the face onto Jon Moxley. I guess Jon Moxley underestimated Ace Austin, as the rest of the people did, because he's a little bit of a spitfire. He is a little bit of a spitfire, I will say. Oh, that's really fun. But like I said, feel free to put in the chat. You have Ace Austin or do you have Jon Moxley? But it's hard to believe that their residency for Texas is almost over, because this weekend's supposed to be the last week. And I know with the snowstorm, it has been very tough to watch. But I hope everybody's been having a great Wednesday and everything is good to go. Nothing out of the ordinary. Because this has been an interesting week. It has been a very, very, very interesting week. but the match is still going, even though it's in picture-in-picture. And we're back live with AEW Dynamite coming to you from Austin, Texas. We have the AEW Continental Championship title eliminator match between Jon Moxley and Ace Austin. And I think so far, Jon Moxley's been underestimating Mr. Ace Austin, but oh man, see, don't underestimate. Don't underestimate. I know, hard to believe this weekend is the final weekend of residency in Texas. As I mentioned, next week we're heading to Las Vegas. And then they're gonna be in California in February. I'm very curious. And then, of course, Grand Slam Australia, Sydney, and Brisbane. Because not only have Grand Slam Australia, they have their first house show for AEW. Super exciting. And it's during Valentine's Day weekend, by the way. So if you love wrestling and you're trying to find something to do on Valentine's Day, take them to a wrestling show. Because that'll be fun. Ace Austin is fired up in this match. He just has so much energy. Ooh, that's a nasty clothesline by Jon Moxley. That's very true. John's a tough guy to bring down. But Ace Austin, he's really having a really, really good showing. Oh, nice move. Nice counter by Austin. Ooh, that was a kick to the face onto Jon Moxley. 1, 2, quick kick out by Jon. Ooh, nice counter by Jon Moxley. Oh man, double underhook. That has to hurt. 3. Yeah, that's it. Your winner of this match, Jon Moxley. Who's gonna be the next contender? I have no idea. But yeah, Jon Moxley, very proudly on his belt, he is the Continental Champion. I would not be shocked if he held it throughout the rest of the year up until the Continental Classic. And oh, here we go. We have Konosuke Takeshita coming out. Because if you recall, a couple weeks ago, that Don Callis made a comment, and Takeshita, it's going to be very interesting. Could he be that next contender? I still believe Takeshita is going to be Okada for the International Championship. I mean, nothing against the Continental Championship with Takeshita, but I need him to beat Okada because him and Okada have some interesting issues they have to work out. Unless they're saving Takeshita and Okada. Oh, man. Here comes Jake Doyle and Mark Davis taking out Jon Moxley. We know they have a tag team match. We know they have a tag team title match against FTR tonight, but I guess you got to make a statement, and what better way to do it is taking out the former AEW World's Heavyweight Champion and Jon Moxley. Moxley's a defense. Yeah. But up next, from tag team, we have the TNT Championship match that was supposed to happen on Collision last week, but it's happening tonight. And I don't have a problem. I mean, we're getting a lot of presents from the Don Callis family, which I never have a problem with because you kind of need a strong heel to kind of really figure it out. But yeah, it's going to be a good match. I mean, I know Mark Briscoe, he is. Yeah. Jasmine Boza, he ain't leaving tonight because he has the TNT title, the tag team titles, and obviously, of course, our main event between Andrade and Swerve Strickland. So, oh my. And it's after 8:30, and we just got through 2 matches. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. But, yeah, 4 times in one night. 4 times. But I'm happy like other members are getting a lot more TV time for AEW Dynamite. And also happy to be with all of you on a Wednesday because it's just been a busy week of wrestling nonstop. So hopefully you got to spend WWT Live earlier in the night. Oh, man. But yeah, Takeshita wants Jon Moxley's Continental Championship match. That's what I'm thinking too. I think they're probably going to save Okada and Takeshita. Probably. If they don't do it in Australia, I could see Takeshita and Okada probably happening at Wembley. Because Takeshita needs his lick back for the International Championship. He needs his lick back. Rosa said Revolution may be done. We shall see, depending on that, because he has to get through Mox first. He has to get through Mox. Maybe Dynasty, but I'm always thinking ahead towards Wembley because it's like, what stories do we want to play out for Wembley Stadium? A lot happening in the AEW World Title picture. It's gonna be very interesting because Darby is making his. Well, we know Brody King's making his claim last week. Darby Allin is putting a claim, which he should. Because then you could run it back with MJF and Darby Allin because these guys are no stranger to each other. And then depending on his time of return, Will Ospreay. It's going to be very interesting how the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament's going to look like. And I did say in one of my poll predictions, Will Ospreay will be AEW World's Heavyweight Champion at Wembley Stadium. It's a fact. I believe it may happen. So we shall see. It's just the writing's on the wall. All right, so we are getting ready for some action TNT Championship action. El Clon, the evil El Clon, the evil clone. Oh Lord. Well, I guess I have to deal with Don Callis. I guess it looks like Don Callis may be doing commentary. I guess not. El Clone. Oh no, I lied. It looks like Don Callis may be doing commentary tonight. Well, it's bad enough. It won't be the last time I see him because we will see him during the TNT Championship, TNT Tag Team title match, and also for our main event tonight, Andrade versus Swerve Strickland. So, yay! I'm gonna get a lot of dose of that creep Don Callis. Yay! Not. And here's Mark Briscoe. Got a cool reaction, by the way. There he is. He's a TNT champion. Mark Briscoe. I feel like this is kind of crazy because I feel like so far the Don Callis family is feuding with everybody from the Death Riders to Kenny to Hangman to Swerve and the conglomeration. It's like, pick who you. Well, it does help because with the fact too, some of them are top tier stars in AEW, so it makes a lot of sense. I know, 4 times. Well, here we go. TNT Championship match. El Clone taking on Mark Briscoe. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys have winning. Do you have El Clone or do you have Mark Briscoe retaining the TNT Championship belt? I believe okay, so pretty much whoever's the winner of this match has to defend the TNT title this weekend on Collision, which actually makes sense because it kind of makes up from last week. And Boza, you're putting in Mark Briscoe retaining. Mark Briscoe. Don't underestimate Mark Briscoe because he will put a beating. He will put a beating on you. So don't sleep on Mr. Mark Briscoe. What's Mark doing? Oh, God. He has a signature chair. Look at that. He has a chair trying to get the fans clapping. He's not going to hit the chair. What's Mark Briscoe doing? Nice drop kick. Look at Mark. Cannon. Oh, it looked like a cannonball, but nice move. Nice counter. All the fans do love Mark Briscoe. They do. They love him. No words can describe that Mark Briscoe is a fighting champion. Oh man, that's a interesting. Don Callis clapping. Tony Schiavone, he just doesn't seem impressed. Oh my god! Oh, thank God! Thank God! Thank God it's on picture in picture. I don't have to listen to him, but it's on picture in picture right now. El Clone. He's been getting a lot of advantage onto Mark Briscoe. So I'm sure Don Callis has a happy face, but we're going to see Don Callis 2 more times tonight. As I mentioned, the AEW tag team titles, FTR taking on Mark Davis and Jack Doyle. And then obviously, of course, our main event, Swerve Strickland taking on Andrade. That's going to be very interesting to watch. I'm very intrigued by it. But like I said, the winner of this match, whoever's TNT champion, will have to defend the TNT title this Saturday on Collision. Very curious on who's going to step up to the plate to Mr. Mark Briscoe for that TNT title, because there's a lot of viable contenders for that TNT title. Obviously, we know next week on Dynamite in Vegas, we know Ricochet will be defending the national championship in his hometown against Jungle Jack Perry. Also, a little fact too, if you are in Las Vegas, Swerve Strickland, he posts this on his socials. He will be doing a pop-up in Las Vegas next week since AEW Dynamite will be there. So he's doing a quick pop-up. All the details are up on his socials. So if you live in Vegas or not that far, feel free to check out Swerve and all the work that he's doing. Yeah, it looks like El Clone has been getting the upper hand here on Mark Briscoe. And this has kind of been brewing up for the last couple of months because obviously we know Hologram is injured. Just don't know when the time will return is when he comes back. And we're back live with AEW Dynamite. We have Mark Briscoe taking on El Clone for the TNT Championship match. It's been pretty much even. El Clone has been getting the upper hand here, but Mark, he's resilient. He doesn't quit. He won't give up. Kick out by Mark Briscoe. I feel like I need to put a mute button whenever Don Callis is on commentary. I just need to put a mute button on him. Like, be quiet. Man, that was a nasty punch by Mark Briscoe. Trying to get the fans on his feet. Dive! Ooh, that was a nice move that Mark did. And the fans are on their feet. They're chanting behind. They are really going behind Mark Briscoe. Chanting for him. Really going for him. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Mark Briscoe putting in some punches in. Oh, man. Oof. Double clothesline and both men are down. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a pretty good, solid match. And it's one of those rarities where even though, like, for the TNT title, you're used to seeing it on Collision, because it's on TNT, no pun intended. But it's nice to have it every now and then on Dynamite. Punches. Mark Briscoe is not quitting. They're just throwing punches at each other. Oh, nice counter. Clothesline. Is he feeling froggy? Is Mark Briscoe feeling froggy? If he's feeling froggy. Quick kick out right by El Clon. And mark it on your calendars. AEW Revolution is March 15th. Jay Diller, that has to be it. Oh, El Clon. That is crazy. He countered the Jay Driller. So how is Mark Briscoe going to counter? And he hasn't even lost a match. I just can't believe he's paired off with Don Callis. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, the Don Callis family does need gold. Mark's countering. Oh, kick in the back of the head. I'm not mad at that. Okay, a roll up. I'm not mad at that. Your winner and still TNT champion is Mark Briscoe. I'm not mad that it was a roll up. And now he's still the face of TNT, and he will face off this Saturday on Collision. So it's 0 for 2. Not a good night so far. It's 0 for 2. Well, that was a heck of a match, I will say. I thought Mark Briscoe was a goner. And it looks like Mark Briscoe's going to talk. Finally, you're letting Mark Briscoe move on. Don't let anybody from the Don Callis family be in it. Please. I want to see new challengers. Who is it? Who is it? Who was that? Who was it? Let me see, who is it? Oh my god. No way! Tommaso Ciampa? Holy shit! Oh my god! I can't believe that's Tommaso Ciampa! AEW was the last thing I would have expected! Wow! Tommaso Ciampa on AEW Dynamite! I really thought he would go to TNA, but he crossed the line. Psycho Killer. Wow, Tommaso Ciampa. Wow. Oh my god. I'm So I guess we're gonna find out Saturday. Oh my god. I guess he found his contender for Saturday. He wants the TNT title. Wow. He gave a peck to Mark Briscoe. Psycho Killer. Wow, this TNT title. Tommaso Ciampa taking on Mark Briscoe this Saturday on Collision. I may need to watch that on Saturday after the Rumble. I just can't believe it. Tommaso Ciampa! He crossed the line. I thought he would go to at least TNA or New Japan, but I'm like, wow, he really went to AEW. And you're right, Boza. Mr. Bossman got a one-up. I'm just still flabbergasted. I'm like, what? Who knows what other surprises we're gonna have? Who knows what we're gonna have? Oh my god. But we go from the TNT champion to the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, AJF. Like, oh my god, I just can't believe it. I know, Boza. I mean, Karrion Kross was the last person. I was like, who is that? And then when I saw Tommaso Ciampa, I was like, yep, that's done. I can't believe it. Wow. Yeah. MJF, the World Heavyweight title is going to come out. But, since it's on commercial, I'm still flabbergasted by it. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And we want to share with you. So make sure you get your stretch on, you get your beverage on, you get everything you need to recuperate before we hear from the champion. Make sure to support the Women's Wrestling Archive.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate $1, $5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything for the Women's Wrestling Archive. Wow. I kind of want to see what social is saying, because I know it's like blowing up like crazy. Wow. I mean, thank you all for joining with me on Timeless Elite Wednesday. Yeah, we kicked off with Kenny Omega taking on Rocky Romero. Then we had a promo with Hangman, Kenny, Swerve from the Don Callis family. Then we had an amazing match with the TNT Championship. It was definitely a good match. That's a contender for match of the night right there. That is contender. But I'm still flabbergasted that Tommaso Ciampa is now all elite. This is crazy. I'm just like, wow. Oh, and here we go. We're going to hear from Carl Fletcher, where he's going to be talking with Renee Paquette and Okada. Oh, I guess they're talking about what happened at World's End with the screwdriver. That is a lie. Don't trust Okada. He will backstab you. I don't believe he's sorry. Ew, he accepts his apology. Ew. Well, I know Takeshita doesn't like him. Oh my god. Well, and it's very interesting because I kept saying Takeshita may be the one to take out Okada. I think it may be Kyle Fletcher that may take his international championship. Because if Takeshita is busy with Moxley and it's going to peel up, it's going to be very crazy how this is going to end. Because I feel like Okada's going to backstab Kyle some way or another. And the friendship that Kyle has with Takeshita. But enough of that. We have from one slime ball to another, the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF, and I guess I'll have to listen to what this jerk has to say. Let me listen to what he has to say. He's still the champion. Texas is not a dump. Who's that? Oh, Brody King. I guess he didn't learn his lesson from last week, because when Brody King was barking at him, he just ran like a coward. See, that's where his mouth cost him, because he should have never said that about Brody. I guess Brody's gonna listen. Well, the fans love Brody. What do you expect? They love Brody King. Like a lost puppy. He's scared of Brody King. Did he have to go around Malachi Black? Buddy Matthews. Is he trying to really fix up Brody King? Oh boy. Pipe dream? Wow. Calls a lot of people followers. Well, let's see what Brody has to say. Well, that's true. That's true. Really? So it looks like next week in Vegas it'll be a title eliminator match. Him versus Brody. That's not bad. So pretty much if Brody wins, he gets a future opportunity, which seems fair. And plus, it's time for Buddy. It's time for Buddy Matthews. Brody King. Finally for him to get some singles gold. That's gonna be really, really fun. Yeah, of course, MJF is whining. Oh, the Young Bucks. So they're going back to their old roots. So next week, the Young Bucks will be coming back next week to going back to when they first started as a tag team. So it's a title match. Let's see which one. Oh! Ooh, so we're having the women's kickoff. I thought it was going to be the tag team, but we have the AEW Women's World Championship match. Thekla taking on Kris Statlander. Yes! Shout out to Jeff Meddling in the chat. Shout out to Short King the Goat in the chat. I know, I think everybody's kind of shocked that Ciampa made his appearance on AEW. I don't think anybody expected it so soon, but yeah, next week, MJF will be facing off against Brody King in a title eliminator match. So Brody wins, he gets a future opportunity at the title shot. And the Babes of Wrath put the ultimatum in. If the Sisters of Sin don't interfere in this match, then the Babes of Wrath can give him an opportunity for the women's tag team titles. But Thekla is on her own. There's a reason why she's called the Toxic Spider. Yeah, I mean, these ladies are going to go one-on-one. It's going to be a really good match. I think this is going to be good. And here comes the reigning AEW Women's Champion, Kris Statlander. I do like the way she has her hair up and her makeup. I just need her to continue being like an alien cosmic killer of the galaxy, like a sci-fi character. But here we go. We have the AEW Women's Championship match. Kris Statlander taking on Thekla. And I'm guessing after that, I would think after that would be the tag team titles. There we go. Ladies going one-on-one. Thekla putting out a handshake out of respect, which I think it'll help. Handshake. But Thekla's like, no, not today. I'm good. Thekla tried to strike Kris Statlander, but it looked like she didn't flinch. I do like Thekla's makeup. I do like whoever did her makeup did a really good job. Oh man. See, look at the athleticism and flexibility Thekla has. She's going to be using a little bit of her tactics on her toxic spider tactics. That's why Kris Statlander is one of the strongest women in AEW. I mean, she could Jeff Metterling. Yeah, she can be a very tricky person, but don't underestimate her looks. Because I know we always talk about Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne as the strongest, even Jamie Hayter, but nothing can be going wrong. And look at the power of Kris Statlander. I mean, when Kris Statlander faced off against Megan Bayne, she almost took her to the limit. And I really thought Stat was going to beat her, which I could see her and Megan Bayne running it back. What's she doing right here? Ooh, Thekla ate some steps of steel. That's why they call her Stat Daddy. And then, oh man, a kick to the head by Thekla. Feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got winning this match. Do you have Thekla being the champ, or do you have for Kris Statlander successfully retaining? Well, this is in picture, and Thekla looks like she's been getting the upper hand here so far against Kris Statlander, and as she should, because I know, like, you know, with Mercedes and Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir, I think Thekla is going to be a strong heel that they need in that women's division, and I think she has it. Oh man, she Irish whipped Kris Statlander on those steals of steps. But the one thing I will say about these ladies so far, I'm very happy to see them pulling all the stops, no matter what. Pulling all the stops, no matter what. So I'm hoping these ladies have one hell of a good match tonight. Because so far the match of the night for me is the TNT title. Hey, Eddie Foster, thank you for joining in the chat. And yep, the whole buzz has been Tommaso Ciampa coming into AEW Dynamite, and he will be facing off against Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship this Saturday on Collision on the final weekend of their residency in Texas. It's been the buzz, it's been talking about, but if you are joining with me, right now, we have the AEW Women's Championship match. We have the Toxic Spider Thekla taking on the Cosmic Killer, or should I say the Galaxy's Cosmic Killer, Kris Statlander. I think it's going to be a really banger of a match. But so far, Thekla's been the one that's but I think it's going to be a good match either way between both of these ladies. And I do think there is a story that can be played out because, as I mentioned, even though I went to see Kris Statlander and Jamie Hayter go at it, Jamie Hayter still has some issues with Thekla that got to be figured out. But my lady Jamie Hayter is teaming up with Alex Windsor because you have two of the UK's ladies. Because why not? Because Queen Amanada's injured. Rio has to deal with visa issues. So it's nice to see two ladies from the UK team up. Very curious on where this direction is going to go with them. Especially with the fact Alex Windsor is the reigning Rev Pro Undisputed Women's Champion. Very curious on what the direction is going to go for both ladies. And we are back live with the AEW Women's World Championship match. Thekla taking on Kris Statlander. I just need these ladies to give it all they have because I do think this could be a banger of a match. And very curious on what's going to happen at Grand Slam Australia between the women's division. What matches are we going to have in place? I mean, of course, probably we'll see Harley Cameron because she's from Australia. I know Dylan said Toni Storm's not from Australia, but we'll see an appearance from Timeless Toni Storm. And if you saw over the weekend, if you saw a few days ago on Kris Statlander's socials, she is really putting in the weights. Quick kick out by Thekla. I think Kris Statlander is going to need more than just her strength and power. She's going to need to start using her brain a bit to outsmart the toxicity of Thekla. Oh, nice counter by Thekla. Clothesline. Very rarely you ever see Kris Statlander on the top rope. And also, I just realized it makes sense for the final two because since they both involve the Don Callis family, at least it can go right into it could segue right into the main event. So she's just hanging like a little spider. Like the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. What's Thekla doing right here? Ooh, off the top rope. And we did see her do that similar when she faced off against Jamie Hayter at Wrestle Dream last year. Oof. She took those risks. And look at the fans. The fans are really getting behind Thekla. Oh, man. Uppercut by Kris Statlander. Oh, man. She took the spear. That's the same spear she put on. Can she do it again? These ladies are going back and forth. Oh man, this is the second time. Kris Statlander had somebody spit in her face. First it was Jamie Hayter, and now it's Thekla. The poor thing. And Thekla put a submission hold in. Oh man. And that was the arm right there. That has to be it. Quick kick out by Kris Statlander. This is where she's going to have to show her resilience. She's like 1 second away. Like, look at that move. It's like attacking a little spider. Kick to the face. Quick kick out. See? That's where the flexibility of hers is going to come in. Powerbomb, man. Saturday Night Fever. And your winner, and still AEW Women's Champion, Kris Stat Daddy Statlander. Well, here comes Harley and Willow, the AEW Women's Tag Team title. I really need Kris Statlander to continue building on her character. That's the one constructive critique I want. I really want her to be up front. I mean, Harley and Willow are great, but I need Kris Statlander to be up front, being the champ. She's the women's champ. She needs to take lessons from Toni Storm. And and look at that. Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne, which, by the way, the girls did not compete in the tournament. And they deserve a shot at the AEW Women's Tag Team titles. Yeah, she's just now getting her feet wet. So hopefully so. Just I need her to continue developing her character. That's all I want. Just continuing to developing, be the cosmic alien, cosmic killer from the galaxy. Yeah, Bozo, they want the AEW Women's title. And remember, Penelope was out during the start of the tournament. So it's going to be very interesting how this is going to play out. Oh, Lord, I got to deal with this creep again. You can tell the Takeshita's not happy. I think Takeshita's not gonna forgive Okada. Oh boy. said you forgave Okada. What's wrong with you? You don't trust Okada? What's wrong with you? Oh my goodness. Well, Boza, you better get ready because after the tag team titles, you got to deal with Swerve and Andrade. So, oh boy. So, pretty much, depending on what happens with Mark Briscoe, Don Callis wants Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. That's why, because Takeshita looks like he's going to face off against Mox for the Continental Championship. I don't need Kyle facing for the TNT title. I need him to face off against the international title because I'm going to be honest, I can't find anybody else who could beat Okada outside of either Takeshita or Fletcher. I just really can't. And I just really can't. And Okada and Kenny's like been there, done that. So it's like not even do it. That could be. Because I'm going to be honest, I really can't think of anybody else. I can't think of really to take away that international because I'm already annoyed by Okada. Like, he doesn't need any belts. He just come in as a wrestler. So, Jeff Metterling, just to let you know, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford won AEW Women's Championship gold. And also with the fact, too, Penelope was injured during the tournament. So, that really did hit her. You would think Boza for that international belt, but unfortunately he got it last year at Texas, and he may be international champion, but I know who was the best international champion. Freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, the best international champion. Just get it right, people. I'm just saying. If you don't believe me, go check out his previous reigns. But congratulations to Kris Statlander and Thekla. That has to be sleeper match of the night for me. But obviously, the match of the night for me was the TNT Championship match. So Lynette Zayas, because you're talking about the Royal Rumble, because we've been talking about Rumble all this week on WWT. We'll be giving our predictions on Friday. In regards to Bianca, it could be a possibility she may come back. Hopefully, if her finger and everything else goes well, I could see her making a comeback. They're probably going to be some, of course, probably see a lot of surprises in the women's. We could see some people from NXT. We could see somebody from Evolve be in the women's Battle Royal. We could maybe see some from TNA. Oh, they're showing the promo for Jack Perry and Ricochet set for next week in Vegas. Oh, yeah, after what happened with Luchasaurus. That was a good match, Jack Perry and Anthony Bowens. That was a good match. And Jack Perry has beaten Ricochet. He gave him 2 clean pinfalls. See, that's what Ricochet gets for his big fat mouth. He said, I'm going to put my feet up and you ain't going to do nothing. Are you serious? They're holding Jack Perry hostage. They're holding Jack Perry hostage. Oh boy. Well, he's lucky Luchasaurus ain't around. See, he's very tough because he has the Gates of Agony behind him. Ooh, Jack Perry got really hit. Oh, he sounds like a little weasel. Sounds like a bald-headed weasel. Yeah, because next week, it'll be Ricochet taking on Jack Perry in Las Vegas. But we go from the AEW women's title to the AEW tag team titles. Oh, they're showing what happened from earlier tonight. Takeshita was having a stare down with Jon Moxley, and Jake Doyle and Mark Davis put a beating on Jon Moxley. I was very surprised that none of the Death Riders came in like immediately, because I thought at least they would come in immediately. But here come the reigning AEW tag team champions, and they have that Weasel Stokely in a wheelchair. If you've seen his website, apparently he's taking donations right now, but oh god. I go from a creep to a weasel. And also next week, the Young Bucks are making the return and making a statement for the AEW tag team titles, and they're putting the entire division on notice. I'm sorry, I just don't need to see another FTR and Young Bucks match. I mean, the matches are great, but I just can't see another one. Especially if there is not a story behind it. I mean, I get they are rivals, they've had matches, and they try to say, who's the best tag team? It's just really getting old. I mean, yes, Boza. I mean, nothing against them. It's getting old. And there's plenty of other tag teams that could have opportunities for stories. I would love to see them against the Gates of Agony. Obviously, of course, like Jake Doyle and Mark Davis, they're getting opportunity. I don't know about Brodino, because Brody King, he has bigger things to worry about. Obviously, of course, like Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, they're a tag team again, the Grizzled Young Veterans. I mean, the Outrunners, I wouldn't mind seeing a rivalry with the Outrunners and FTR. I mean, obviously, of course, we have Edge and Christian. And then, I don't know what's happening with my guys, Caster and Bowens, because it's slowly, you got to let it chill. It's slowly coming into friction, because you got to let it simmer a bit. Just not yet. But here we go. We have the AEW World Tag Team titles. We have FTR taking on the Don Callis families, Jack Doyle, Mark Davis, and it looks like that Weasel Stokely's on commentary. But feel free to put in the chat on who you guys got. You guys got FTR retaining, or do you have Mark Davis and Jack Doyle pulling off the big upset? Oh, Jeff Betterling, I didn't forget. I just wasn't sure if you heard me earlier. I didn't forget about the Young Bucks. I did not forget. And definitely Jack Perry needs a tag team. Well, his tag team partner Luchasaurus is out. His tag team partner Luchasaurus is out. Obviously, we know Jet Speed are 2/3 of the Trios champion with Hangman Adam Page. It's going to be very interesting. Ooh, nice job by Mark Davis. So it looks like February, AEW is going to be making some trips into California. I'm laughing at Mark Davis. He just like suplexed. He suplexed Dak so hard. Here comes Cash. Ooh. Oh my God, look at that. Man, they're really destroyed. They're really putting on a beating on FTR. I think they're getting some backup from the fans. Man, even that Weasel Stokely looks scared. That's the first time I've ever seen him scared. The last time I saw him that scared was when Edge and Christian faced off against them at All Out Toronto. Man, Mark Davis and Jack Doyle, they're really putting him. I mean, they're starting to put an impression on a tag team. Sorry, I'm just looking at socials. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just checking on my socials because I know the whole buzz with AEW is going to be probably about Ciampa making his debut in AEW. I have to say that was a really good signing that Mr. Bossman Tony Khan did. My goodness. Yeah, Jeff, we're kind of bummed as well with the Royal Rumble. Yeah, Mark Davis and Jack Doyle's been getting a lot of upper hand with each other. So we're back live with the AEW tag team. I think the crowd's really getting behind Mark Davis. Oh my God. Oh man, nice suplex by Cash. Jake Doyle. You know, it's really a shame because this was a team that Lance Archer and Brian Cage were supposed to do. But since Brian Cage is out with an injury, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. But yeah, Mark Davis and Jack Doyle are doing pretty good. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that little creep got a tag team that actually made sense. And I'm okay with that. Thank you, Excalibur. One of the greatest tag teams. Talk about the greatest tag teams. We need to have a conversation about that. One of the greatest tag teams. I mean, I know Sports Illustrated named them as Tag Team of the Year, FTR. No disrespect, but that should have been the Hardys. I know, it's kind of crazy. He's not gloating. This is like one of the first few times he's scared. But it is a good solid showing for Mark Davis and Jack Doyle. They're really showing that they can compete and be on the level. Quick kick out. You better be scared, you little weasel. You better be scared. Oh, look. Mark Davis is trying to put sleeper hold onto Dax. Is he going to make Dax tuckered out? Mark Davis. What's going on here? Oh yeah, the Death Riders from what happened earlier. I guess Mox, he didn't forget what happened earlier. Oh boy. Well, I guess that's what happens when you stick your nose in anything Death Riders business. It comes right back and bites you. So, Mox. But your winners and still tag team champions is FTR. And that weasel can go somewhere else because we got a main event happening. Swerve Strickland taking on Andrade. Can Andrade bring home? I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but it's possible. Well, FTR is still the tag team champions. Get that weasel. I'm laughing at Stokely because he's scared of John Moxley. I mean, I would be scared too if I was in a wheelchair. I'd be very scared. If I was in a wheelchair. Well, take the bat. Yeah, take that weasel back in the back with the wheelchair. But John Moxley. Well, let's see. John Moxley. I'm looking at John Moxley's face. And we're in the back. We're backstage. And oh, shh. Versus Queen Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy has the same reaction we all have in Wheeler Yuta. He doesn't like you. Hey. Oh, but that's my lady. Don't you put your hands on Orange Cassidy. She's not afraid. That's the one thing about Toni Storm. She's not afraid. Toni Storm to the rescue. Tony Storm to the rescue. I never thought in a million years two of my favorite people would be teaming up together. I mean, I have Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and I have Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm. That's insanity. But yep, Tony Storm ain't scared. She looked at John Moxley right in the eye. And John Moxley looked very scared. He was like, I don't want to be where she is. So that tells you something. If she can stand up to John Moxley, hey, that's going to be something. But that little runt wheeler Yuta, well, to be fair, that little runt wheeler Yuta interfered in Claudio's match against Roddy, because to be honest, Roddy could have won that title if he didn't interfere. I'm just saying, but hopefully Roddy, because I wouldn't mind seeing him get another opportunity soon for the CMLL World Heavyweight title. But yeah, Marina Shafir, don't you ever touch Orange Cassidy's hair again. And Tony to the rescue. He did. Roddy did have it, but it's like, if Wheeler Yuta did not interfere, Roddy could have been champion. But there's still a lot of issues. That's the one thing about Toni Storm. She ain't afraid of anybody. And it kind of makes sense, too, because, like, Megan and Penelope Ford, they're a tag team again. And they get to focus on the AEW women's tag team titles, where it makes up for them not being in the tournament because of Penelope's injury. So I'm okay with that. And also with that too. I mean, it does give Marina a lot of opportunity to work with some of the women in the division. I mean, working with one of the top ladies in AEW, in Toni Storm. I know Toni Storm and Orange Cassidy teaming up was out on my bingo card. I really wanted her and Darby to team up. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. So, but yeah, Orange Cassidy does have some issues with the Death Riders, even going way back before his title shot at Full Gear in 2024. He has history with all the majority of the members of the Death Riders. So, Orange Cassidy ain't back away from a fight. Hard to believe we're at our main event tonight. And it's almost wrapping up for AEW Dynamite. Oh my. But it is, as Excalibur said, it is main event time for AEW Dynamite. And none other than Swerve Strickland. Oh boy. It's going to be a good match though. Here comes Nana. I do like the sparkly pants on him. He is the most dangerous. I will say, even though people were not too happy with it, you see people nodding their heads, enjoying Swerve's new theme song. So they're nodding their heads and getting used to it. Which I will say it's starting to pick up a bit. I think once you listen to it, you just have to really get into it. And just give it a listen. Yes, that is true, Rosa. It's interesting with Andrade. Very interesting in that fatal 4-way at Grand Slam. But like I said, as you mentioned, and we mentioned it earlier, whoever wins this match gets to meet Kenny Omega. Yes, Nana gets filled with the Holy Spirit. But yeah, next week, whoever wins faces off against Kenny Omega. And as I mentioned, Swerve's never faced off against Kenny Omega one-on-one. He's never faced off against MJF one-on-one. since he's been at AEW. So I know him and Kenny know each other very, very well. And he still has that chain above his waist. I will say, Swerve is beloved by the fans. But as my guy Max Caster said, he is sneaky Swerve. And there comes Andrade. I'm still going to call him Andrade. Okay, so pretty much if Brody wins next week in this title eliminator match, he gets Max at Grand Slam Australia. Which actually makes a lot of sense. So whoever wins that Fatal 4-Way pretty much is going to be the main event for Revolution. Well, here comes Andrade. We got that creep on the ring. It's gonna be very interesting how the interaction outside the ring goes between Nana and Don Callis. I actually want to see Nana punch Don Callis in the face. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see him get punched in the face. But here we are, guys. This is our main event for AEW Dynamite. And if I didn't say this earlier, thank you all for joining on this watch along of AEW Dynamite. So thank you all. Hard to believe we're almost wrapping up 2 hours. It's going to be a good match. Oh, he's on commentary. That little creep is on commentary. I'm surprised he wasn't on commentary for the title match. But there we go. Andrade versus Swerve. Yeah. Yeah, he was nervous about this match in particular because they haven't got any wins. Yeah, MJF has got a lot of people gunning for him, as I mentioned, like from even though he's injured, Samoa Joe, Brody, Hangman, Swerve, Kenny Omega. Also, somewhere down the line, you got to throw in Darby Allin because Darby Allin wants AEW Gold. And also, depending on his injury, and I said this on WWT Live, Will Ospreay. Oh man, that was a nice move by Andrade with his legs. I feel like it's gonna be a battle of the legs. Look at Andrade. Andrade has a sneakiness in him. And you're the fans, they're chanting AEW. They have the energy. And also feel free to put in the chat on who do you guys see in this match. Do you see Swerve Strickland winning, or do you see Andrade pulling off the upset? Oh man, Swerve Strickland ate some steel steps. Look at Andrade. Oh my goodness. Is that same girl that was on Collision last week? Yeah, I took a selfie with her and put her number in. It looked like the same girl from what the is that her phone number? She just gave. Oh man. It looks like the same lady from Collision last week. Well, that'd be interesting. Crazy. But yeah, even though the match is still going on live, it's picture in picture. I kind of knew she looked familiar. I kind of figured that. I mean, look. I mean, after his divorce with Charlie, he's a free man. And I can't knock Bossman on trying to make Andrade into a heartthrob. And I knew her face looked familiar from Collision over the weekend because she got a selfie with him. It's going to be very interesting how that's going to play out. And, oh, crushes. Crushes all around. Oh my goodness. Wow. Looks like Andrade has the upper hand here. So we are back live. Sorry. I'm trying to look on socials to check if there's any updates. That's what I do. I want to make sure there's any updates. But I think obviously the big buzz, what's happening tonight from AEW Dynamite is Tommaso Ciampa coming in to the fray. That's been one of the biggest highlights in there. But we're back live with AEW Dynamite with our main event. Swerve Strickland taking on Andrade. But I will say, Andrade is putting on an impressive performance and trying to get the best of it. Oh, man. That was very impressive by Andrade. That was impressive. I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega is watching this match. We're somewhere backstage on this. Oh, and the Saturday Night Collision, it will be the AEW Women's Tag Team titles. The Babes of Wrath taking on the Sisters of Sin. Obviously, of course, we have Mark Briscoe taking on Tommaso Ciampa. Also, we're going to see Darby Allin in action this weekend. We're going to see Darby Allin in action. He's back this weekend. And we're also going to have the Rascals be in action against Leo Rush and Action Andrade. So those are the matches announced so far. I'm sure we're going to probably get more matches right before Collision. But yeah, happy to see Darby Allin back this weekend. And yes, he's taking on Clark Connors from New Japan. If you know, you know. But always love. That is true. The Rascals have to deal with that. But I'm pretty sure the Rascals will find a way to overcome that. But also showing tickets on sale now. If you're in Australia, Grand Slam Australia tickets are on sale now. And also the next day, they have their house show. Their first house show. But next week on Dynamite, it'll be Brody King taking on MJF for an AEW World Title Eliminator match. But pretty much if Brody wins, he gets a future opportunity for the title, which he should. He's long overdue. It's well deserved. Next week, also, Kenny Omega will face off against the winner of Andrade and Swerve. Ooh. Swerve Strickland took a nasty fall. Oh my God. That has to hurt. And if anybody says wrestling is the F word, show them that replay right there. Because Swerve is going to need a lot. He's going to need a full ice bath after this. That is very scary to have your body on that barricade. That is very scary. All right. Aubrey, she's putting the count out. She's putting the count out in. Okay, both guys are in the ring. Look at Swerve. It's like Swerve and Andrade are so neck and neck. I mean, as much as I despise Don Callis and would like to see him win, like I mentioned, I wouldn't mind seeing Swerve and Kenny because they never faced off against each other. And I believe they're friends in real life. I know Swerve is good friends with Will Ospreay. And I think with Darby. Nice counter by Swerve. Oh, man. That was a nice move by Andrade. I'm not going to lie. Kick out by Swerve. What's Andrade doing here? Oh, nice kick by Swerve. Swerve wants to end this thing. Kick out by Andrade. What's Andrade doing right here? What's he doing? Oh, wow. That was really impressive. That was a hurricanrana right there. Can Andrade pull off the win? Can he pin a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion? Kick out by Swerve. Oh my God. Oof. 1, 2. Kick out by Swerve. I will say this is a pretty good solid match. Look at, I'm laughing at Nana. I'm running outside the ring. Let's see, Swerve. Kick out. Kick out. Oh man, that was a kick to the face. That was a kick to the face. Oh, low blow. Damn, he got it with a low blow. But your winner of this match is Andrade. And yeah, Don Callis finally got a win tonight, so who cares? And I think he needed that in the worst way. He grabbed the arm of Aubrey Edwards and gave him a low blow with no one looking. But next week, it will be Kenny Omega taking on Andrade. I think they're saving Swerve versus Kenny Omega. They're saving it. And as I mentioned, next week, the AEW National Championship, Ricochet in his hometown will be facing off against Jack Perry. Well, I say this is a big win for Andrade because Andrade picked up a win over a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. That match you can't. That is true, Boza. I think they're saving Kenny versus Swerve for a later time. They're saving that. I think they didn't want to give. Oh, and here is Renee talking with MJF. I really want Brody to win. Oh, look, there's Kenny. You really think MJF is gonna shake hands? Well, MJF is walking. He's walking. Him and Andrade. Even Andrade wants a shot at that title. Oh, and then you got to throw in Darby Allin and Will Ospreay to the fray. Because I know Darby, he has another journey. Darby Allin. Oh, look at Max going in his car. Going in his car. Hangman. Look at Hangman. Oh boy. Running. He can run. He can run, but he can't hide. Wow. Kenny, Andrade, Hangman, Swerve, and even though he's injured, Samoa Joe. And I'm pretty sure, not now, but somewhere down the line, in the later year, we'll probably see Darby Allin come into the fray. Depending on his injury will Ospreay, but that wraps up AEW Dynamite, friends. Well, it's going to be very interesting because, as I mentioned, MJF, you won the grand prize. You got 5, 6, 7 other people that are gunning for your belts. You'll be facing off against Brody King next week. If Brody wins, he faces off against him in Australia. And in the Fatal 4-Way match, that will happen on Australia. Whoever wins that Fatal 4-Way match will be getting a shot at Revolution. So, lots happening. Even like after Revolution, we have the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. So that's going to be very interesting on who's going to be featured in what. But that wraps up AEW Dynamite. I mean, oh my goodness. We've had a lot of thrills, chills, suspense, everything all around. Boza, yeah, Friday, WWT Live is going to be an interesting discussion. But obviously, the buzz that everybody's talking about is Tommaso Ciampa being in AEW soil, and he has a match this Saturday on Collision against Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship. So, oh my, lots is happening. Pretty much match of the night for me was I would say Swerve and Andrade, but the match of the night for me was the TNT Championship. That match was so good, and I loved it. It really did capture both of them. Clon, Mark Briscoe. It just shows Mark Briscoe's a fighting champion, and everybody was on their feet. Sleeper match of the night for me was the AEW Women's Championship match. I do think they did deliver a really solid match between each other, and it just really continues Kris Statlander to grow as a champion, not just wrestling-wise, but I would love to see her grow in character and be the leading lady up front. I mean, everybody loves Harley and Willow, but I need Kris Statlander to stand on her own 2 feet. The same way when Thekla did promos, Thekla stood on her own 2 feet, and I want to see Kris Statlander confidently do some promos. Like, I want her to really be confident on the mic and do promos. Everything else, just continue developing the character, the sci-fi character of the galaxies. That's all I want for Kris Statlander. But those are mine. Solid match all around. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Well, actually, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because there was some good stuff. 9 out of 10. I mean, Andrade pinned a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. I know in the future we will see Kenny Omega's for Strickland. Just not right now, but in the future, in the near future, in the crystal ball of the future. But that wraps up Timeless Elite Wednesday with yours truly. It has been a really fun night with 2 hours. So much to talk about for Friday. It's just been buzzing like crazy, but I'm really thankful that all of you could be here. Shout out to Boza, Eddie Foster. I'm trying to think who else that I miss. Michael Vasquez. Just making sure I don't miss anybody. Jonathan Langbay. Let's see. Short King the Goat, Jeff Metterling. I do want to thank all of you for joining on this edition of AEW Dynamite. Obviously, of course, we're still in Rumble week, so we have WWT Live, final one before the Royal Rumble. Think we're gonna have a watch along? Not sure, but we shall see on that. But do want to shout out to everybody. Thank you for being with me on this Wednesday edition. It has been very, very fun. I mean, we're continuing our road to Revolution, but we do have Grand Slam Australia on the horizon. But Do want to thank everybody. You guys know where to find me at on socials. And your PR princess, she's got some stuff brewing. So feel free to check it out. Shout out to the rest of the WWT live team for all their hard work and everything. And thank you for supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening, and I will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.